Thank you for joining this lesson. We're going to handle quadratic equations and expressions. Number 20, whereby we are told that a certain number of people agreed to contribute to buy novels worth 1,200 Kenya shillings. 5 of them pulled out and the others agreed to contribute an extra 10 shillings each. Their contribution bought novels worth 200 Kenya shillings more than they originally expected. If the original number of people was X, write an expression of how much each was to contribute. Each was to contribute. So initially, they intended to buy books worth, or rather novels worth 1,200 Kenya shillings, and they were X. So each was to contribute 1,200 out of they were X. Now, later, 5 of them pulled out, which means the remaining number is now X minus 5. This is the new number. This is the new number. And now they are to buy books. They are to buy books not worth the original amount, but worth 200 more than they originally expected. So these new members now will buy books worth, if the original expectation was 1,200, they are not going to purchase books worth 200 more, which means they'll buy books worth 1,400. Therefore, the books are worth 1,400, that is 200 more than original, and the members are now X minus 5. So each will contribute 1,400 out of X minus 5. So this is the new contribution per person. Again, we are told to reduce now the expressions to one equation. To reduce the expressions to one equation, we need to say now, this contribution per head being made by the new members, and the contribution which was original per head is going to differ by 10. Therefore, when we take the new contribution per head, which is 14 out of X minus 5, and we subtract 12 out of X, we should get exactly 10 shillings. Therefore, now that is the single equation relating the two expressions for the cash per head. Let me now calculate how many people made the contributions. How many people made the contributions? I will start by solving for X first. Let me make a straight line here so that I may use the LCM method. I know there are several approaches to this. Let me use X minus 5 into X. Remember, the other one is over 1. Therefore, we can only multiply by 1 here and it will remain the same. LCM divided by this denominator here, we will get X. Therefore, 1,400 times X minus LCM divided by the denominator here, we will get X minus 5. Therefore, 1,200 X minus 5. This is equal to, when we take LCM and we divide by 1, the LCM will remain the way it is, then times 10. Therefore, it will be 10 multiplied by, this is X squared minus 5X. Now I can open brackets and I do away with my LCM. So 1,400X minus 1,200X, then this one becomes positive now. 12 by 5 will give us 60. And now we have 6 zeros, 2 zeros already. This is equal to 10x squared minus 50x. We can group like terms together, whereby I'll choose to start with 10x squared. Then we have okay, we can group here first. 14 minus 1,200. 1,400 minus 1,200 get positive 200. So it becomes negative at this side. Negative 200 and 50 because the 200 will be added to another negative 5x. Then this one now to the other side will become negative. Then we have remained with a 0 on the other side. We can simplify the equation more. X squared minus 25x minus 600 equals to 0. Therefore, with this equation now, we can solve it quadratically. Let me follow the completing square method, whereby I will start by writing x squared. I subtract 25x. Then I take 600 to this side, whereby at this point, I should add a constant, and I add the same constant on the other side. This other constant, which is made to make the left-hand side a perfect square, should be calculated by b out of 2 squared. So this constant will be 25 negative out of 2, and we square. This will become, when we square 25, we get 625. So 625 over 4, then 625 out of 4, also on the other side. Therefore, before I combine this part, I can factorize the left hand side, whereby this will become x. The sign which follows is a minus. So to factorize a perfect square, we take square root of the first term, the sign which follows, then square root of the last part here, which will be 25 out of 2 squared equals to 600 plus 625 out of 4. This gives me 756 and a quarter. So we can now take square root of both sides, whereby this will become x minus 25 out of 2 equals to square root of the other side now. This gives us 27 and a half. 7 and a half. To get the values of x, now we will need 27 and a half plus 25 out of 2, or we will need 27 and a half, which is now a negative, because you remember we have obtained the square root of this part, which is either positive or negative. Therefore, at this point now, the other possible solution will be or when we add 25 out of 2. So these two values are going to be, in the first case, when we add 25 out of 2, I'm getting exactly 40. So x is either 40 or x is equal to negative 27 and a half. Then we add 25 and a half, also negative 2. Therefore, the original value of x, because we are dealing with a number of people, is going to be 40. It's going to be 40. Therefore, we're going to have 40 as the original number. But now we are told to calculate how many people made their contributions finally. Because 5 withdrew, so the people who made contributions are, the people who finally made contributions will be x minus 5, which is 40, minus 5, which is 35 people. This is 35 people. Finally, how much did each contribute? Because they contributed 1400 and these people are 35, then they are going to contribute per person only 40 Kenya shillings. Thank you for following. Subscribe and share.